My name is Liju from Balikamatom High Secondary School studying 7th standard. Here I am going to introduce my one storybook. The name of my storybook is How Far is the River? The beautiful story is written by Ruskin Bond, an adventure journey of a young boy who goes in search of a river is the theme of the storybook. Let us read and enjoy the storybook. My storybook. How far is the river? Introduction. Characters in this story. The boy, a woodcutter, a girl, a village boy. The boy has 12 years old, a sturdy boy with untidy black hair and shining black eyes. He had fine features and a clear brown skin. But his hands and feet were rough and scratched. He was barefoot, not because he could not afford shoes, but because he killed the feel of warm stones and cool grass. In this story, the boy like a river, but he did not see the river because between the boy and the river stood a mountain. The thick leaf forest mountain hid the river. From the villagers he had heard of it, of the fish in the water and of its rocks. He wished to touch the water and know it personally. Once upon a time, it was 11 o'clock, and he knew his parents would not return home till evening. There was a loaf of bread he would take with him, and on the way he might find some fruits. Here was the opportunity he had waited for. He went into the house and wrapped the loaf of bread in a newspaper. Then he closed all the doors and windows. The path to the river dropped steeply into the valley, then rose and went around the big mountain. It was frequently used by the villagers, the woodcutter, milkman and mule drivers, but there were no villagers beyond the mountain or near the river. The boy passed a woodcutter and asked him how far it was to the river. The woodcutter was a short but powerful man with an increased and withered face, and muscles that stood out in hard, ugly lumps. 10 miles, he said, which was fairly awkward. Why do you want to know? I am going to the river, said the boy. Alone? Of course, but it's too far. It will take you 3 hours to reach there, and then you have to come back. It will be getting dark. Besides, it is not an easy road. But I am a good walker, said the boy. Though he had near walked further than the mile from his house to his school. Soon the boy was in the valley, and the path straightened out and rose. He met a girl who was coming from the opposite direction. She held a long curved knife with which she had been cutting grass. The bangles she wore made music when she moved her hands, and it was as though the hands spoke a language of their own. How far is it to the river? Asked the boy. The girl had obviously never been to the river or she may have been thinking of another one because she said, "20 miles." Without any hesitation, the boy laughed and ran down the path. Presently, he saw another boy ahead of him driving a few goats down the path. "How far is the river?" he asked. The village boy smiled in a friendly way and said, "Oh, not far, just round the next hill and straight down." The boy felt hungry and warped his loaf of bread and broken it in halves, offering one portion to the village boy. They sat on the hillside and ate in silence. When they had finished, they asked on together and began talking and talking. The boy did not notice the smarting of his feet and the heat of the sun, the distance he had covered and distance he had yet to cover. But after some time, his companion had to diverge along another path, and the boy was once more on his wall. He missed the boy. He could not be seen. His own home was also hidden from view by the side of the mountain. The river was not in sight either. He began to feel discouraged. He was sorry he had finished the bread he might want into later. A sudden roaring sound, the sound of the river far down in the valley. The river stumbled over rocks. The boy gasped and began to run. He slipped and stumbled, but still he ran. Then he was unclad in the painful cold mountain water, and the water was blue and white and wonderful. I hope all like my video. Thank you.